Okay. Let's see. Into chat. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm hoping that you guys are going to be able to hear me. So this is the first time recording on this computer. Trying to wait a few minutes and see if we get anybody to log on. Once you log on, please let me know that you are online so I can start this discussion. And if you have any questions, go ahead and start asking. Let's use this camera a little bit. Here. Okay. 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 So that should be pretty good. Let's see here. Wait just a second. Go on to see what I'm talking about today. Happy New Year's, everyone. So today I want to talk to you guys about building your business in 2017 and things that you can do to build your business in 2017. 2016 was a great year for business. I pretty much took a lot of times of the year off. I'm going to take my shades off because it looks like I'm getting a glare from this window over here. But 2017 was great. 2016 was pretty good for business. 2017 is going to be great for business. I want to talk to you guys about some things that you can do in 2017 to up your game. One of the first things that I'm doing myself, services that take a long time or didn't make money in 2016, get rid of them. Just chunk them out the door. And focus on the things that you are good at. Whatever your specialty is, focus on that instead of trying to spread yourself thin, and you'll do a lot better. If your specialty is one color designs, then hey, do one color designs. So, in earlier videos, I've talked to you guys about having your business cards, having your postcards and things like that, having your Facebook pages. But after you get all of that stuff, what do you do? 2017 is the year of social media, Facebook, all of this type of stuff. And that's where you want to be doing your Facebook promotions, social media promotions, all of that type of stuff. Take $5, a week, do a Facebook ad and promote it and see where that takes you to. I see we have 2 viewers online now. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please type in that chat box and let me know that you can hear me and that the recorder is working okay. And if you have any questions about building your business, that's what I'm here for today, is to do question and answers, give you tips on building your business. We just started this, so I know it's going to take a while to take off, but you know, hey, I'm getting a lot of people who are coming in and looking at the videos afterwards, and not a lot of people who are logging in live yet. And I'm still working on, you know, setting up this system, getting a better video camera, because I mean, hey, it's not getting my good profile. Y'all see, I did the Mohawk thing for the New Year's. It was on. Anyways, I'm still waiting. Don't know if you guys can hear. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and do this video. You should have a price list for when people walk into your store. Try to see if I can get the camera to catch this. Maybe if I zoom in. Nope. Zoom out. Anyways, this is a price list. It's not good. I should have did this in another room. This is a price list with my prices on it for customers. So when my customers walk in, I have something to hand them. It looks very professional when you are able to hand your customers price lists. When you do job proofs, things like that, it shows that you are on your business, okay, and about your business when you're able to hand them stuff. So 2017, make sure that everything about you is professional, okay? From your business cards to your t-shirts for yourself. You may want to do bags. If if you're screen printing, it's very easy to screen print to just get some little paper bags and screen print on those bags, or even screen print on boxes, okay? Just to put your name in. That's part of branding yourself, getting people to really get to know you and to recognize your brand, because your business is your brand, okay? One of the things that we do a lot here is we do email campaigns. I have a client base with over about 20,000 names in it. You may not have that. So what you're going to have to do is build an email list. If you have a website, you want to make sure that when people go to your website, you have a subscribe button where they can subscribe to your website, and you can build an email list that way. Anytime I do business with anyone, everything that I do is verified through email. I do not take orders over the phone. I don't do any of that stuff. I may take an order over the phone, but I'll go back in and do an email of exactly what I said in case there's any type of discrepancies. Everything is done by email. Even my job approvals, you would have to email me job approvals. I know a lot of people say they have issues with doing jobs for people, and then let's say there's some type of discrepancy. If you've got that in an email, there's no discrepancy. So email is really good. You want to do email campaigns. You should have, this is January. So what I want you guys to do, make a calendar of events. And when I say a calendar of events, this is a calendar of events for the whole entire year. You can go to your city's websites or Google, like I'm in Texas, I would Google events in Dallas, city events in Dallas. Find out what's going on. Different big events, walks, anything that you can get involved in, and you can rent booths at those events. And, it's not always about making money at the events. Sometimes it's about giving some things away too, and to just, just to be there. You may pay 25, anywhere between 25 and $50 for an event booth, but it's a good thing to do, and to go to these events, and it gets you known in the public. You should also, so when you're doing that event calendar, you would put different holidays down. So you would start, let's say it's right now, it's January. We're about to start advertising for, the month of February for Valentine's Day, because Valentine's is a really big time for people getting individual t-shirts, which I do not like to do, but it is a market, and if I have to be prepared. So if I prepare myself now, get my ads ready, in 2 weeks when I put those ads up, all I have to do is sit back and wait. I've already got my designs ready. All I have to do is, once I put those ads up, is sit back and wait and watch that money roll in. Okay. So do email campaigns. A big thing now around the younger crowd is the text campaigns. We started texting our clients. You should build a text, a text list of phone numbers. So you should shoot out group texts. Hey, anniversary sale at the t-shirt shop, 20% off, that type of thing. So you do that. And you can Google text blasting or text blasts, things like that, and you'll find you can do somewhere around 5,000 texts a month, I believe, for about 3-4 cents a text. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do to get your name out there. Between texting, emails, social media, you're going to win. Okay, and there's going to come a point in time that you're going to have to go out and hit the block. Okay, when you're out and you're riding around in your car, you need to have your business cards on you. Be ready for things like that. I have a shirt. On the back of it, it says, "Get stoned." Okay. People look at me really crazy when they see me in the "Get Stoned" shirt. Okay. It is a conversation piece. So when people see me in this shirt, it starts up a conversation between me and them, so that I have that opportunity to say, hey, this is what Get Stoned is about. Get Stoned is actually the name of one of my rhinestone classes. Okay. So I do rhinestones. I'm not really getting stoned. We talk about city events and your Facebook pages and all of that stuff. I'm not seeing, let's see here. Can you guys hear me? Okay, enter in the chat. What I'm going to do is, give me 1 second. Let me figure out something, because settings, bandwidth. I know I've seen this before. I'm trying to find out on here. Okay. Oh, that's cute. And go into this control room. Okay. Actually trying to find out where to chat with you guys. There should be a chat button there for you guys to see. And I don't know if you can see it or not. Oh, that was terrible. Okay. So I'm not sure that you guys are really hearing me. Well, let's see here. Let me try to log on and just see if, make sure that this is going live, that we are live, and that I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. Okay. Let's see here. Apps, people. Oh, there's a little thingy there. In 1 second, y'all. Okay. Okay, doke. I'm going to get this thing down sooner or later. Okay, to list all available comments. Da, 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 da. The other day I did this and did a pretty good job. Let's see here. Well, looks like I've got some more work to do on this thing. Okay. Let's see here. Just give me a second. Let me try to figure this out. I want you guys to be able to talk back to me. It's no fun for me to sit here and just talk to myself. So, let's see here. Okay. Okay, well, you guys can see me. I can see me here. So let me just go ahead and finish this on out. Okay. Okay. So what were we talking about? Let's see. Oh, I didn't see if you guys could chat back and forth with me. Let me see. In 1 second. There I go. I'm going to get this thing together sooner or later. Let's see. Let me log in. Okay. Da-da-da. Give me a second. Let me try to figure this out. Now, I want you guys to be able to talk back to me. It's so fun for me to sit here and just talk. Okay. I can see you guys on my phone, what you guys are asking me. So, okay. What's the best way? Jason asks, what's the best way to get new customers? Most common question I know. Oh, but that's okay, Jason. I think I pretty much answered it. Let me turn the volume down on here so that I can go through here. Okay. So one of the best ways to get questions is like to get customers. What most people say and what I learned in school is by word of mouth. Okay. That's what textbooks tells us. That's bull crap. Bull crap. Best way for you to get customers is for you to advertise. Do you have a website, Jason? Or are you on Facebook or any type of social media? Do you have kids that are doing sports, things like that? If you have a Facebook, then you would advertise, do ad promotions on Facebook. If you are on the internet, then you should be listed. Your business should be listed as on the Google local channels, Google, Bing, all of those local channels, and most of them have different promotions that and different little packages, maybe $10 a month, things like that, where you can go in and list. To list on Google local, it's free. And then once you list your business there, you'll start getting phone calls automatically for your area. Okay, a lot of people slip on that they need to go in and list their businesses. Even if you don't have a website now, you should work on getting one. And even if it is a one-page website, okay, you need to be able to put yourself out there in some kind of way and advertise to the community. One of the things that I'm doing now is I have a website called t-shirtscreenprinters.com. t-shirtscreenprinters.com is a listing website for you guys. So make sure that you go on there and list your websites. It's only showing the Dallas listings right now. I've got to do some work on it. I just got through with Tonna.com, so I'm going to go in and do some stuff with that. And then once I do that, we'll be able to list your page. You'll get a free listing. On that free listing, you'll be able to put up videos of your work, pictures of your work, email links for people to get in contact with you, things like that. So what happens is once I put this site up and I promote it, it's going to hit. Okay. And once I do the Google ads and everything, when people are Googling for t-shirt printers in their area, they'll find you. They'll click on that advertisement on your page. It's like a little mini website. They'll click on that page, and once they click on that page, then they'll be able to get in contact with you there. But you should also have a website. In my opinion, internet marketing is the best out of everything. The best out of social media, the best out of me walking around. When I started out, I used to have to go door to door to businesses and all of that stuff. The internet makes it real easy for you to advertise nowadays. And also if you're selling, I don't know if you're screen printing and you're selling products to the public, like I do, or if you have your own brand. If you have your own brand, places like Etsy, those are great to open up sites on, things like that, and make money that way. Okay, let's look through here. Anyone else have any more questions? Okay. Most common. You guys are really, really quiet people. Now y'all got me on here and I'm going live, wasting my day. How about those Cowboys though? Huh? How about that? Let's talk about those Cowboys. If y'all don't want to talk about anything, y'all know we whoop and tail. This is the first time the Cowboys have had a chance at this thing in a long time. So everybody in my household is crunk. Now I snuck over here to do this. Let's see what I can talk to you guys about. Oh, let's see here. I'm going to talk to you about the Tonna.com website, my consulting site. Just put it back. I just put the site up. As you know, I've been doing consulting since 2009. So it means I'm getting a little old at this now. And I'm going to be offering a lot of training online. I'm getting a lot of people who are calling me and whatnot. So I'm going to be doing a lot of online training now versus me doing training in the shop. However, I do have a shadowing program. So if you want to come in and you want to shadow me, you can come in my business and you can shadow me. Shadowing takes a little bit longer than the standard class that I offer, where I do like a 2-day class. Shadowing may take you about a week, because when you come in and shadow, we're working on whatever we're working on that day. But shadowing is a good way for you guys to come in and really, really get to see what it is that I do. I'm going to be traveling to people's locations and teaching there. I want to start teaching people on their own equipment. A lot of people come and take the class, and then, you know, after they take the class, they don't know what kind of equipment to use. Okay, so here we go. Got some more questions. Okay, Ivan says, does the customer send you the art or do you do it yourself? Probably about 90% of my customers send me art, and probably about 95% of the art that they send me is stuff that I can't use. So what I do is, let's say if a customer comes to me with a design or with something, most of the time they Googled something, things like that, then I can recreate it for them. And I do vector art. I'm a vector artist, so I do a lot of things in CorelDRAW. That's my program of choice. And I'll just go in and redesign something, recreate it. Of course, there is a charge for that. Anything that takes me less than 15 minutes to do, I don't charge for it. If it takes me more than 15 minutes to do, then I do charge for it. When you're screen printing your artwork, it needs to be submitted in a vector format if it's for what's called spot color designs. And spot colors, when you're doing solid colors, no shades or gradients. Let's see here. How do you keep organized with so many different jobs? Go Steelers. Oh. Well, keeping organized, that's a really, really good question. Really, really good question. Okay, so Jason, what I do, I use my software. Okay. So what I did is I created a plugin for Microsoft Excel, and it is a t-shirt shop management software. And from that program, I run my whole complete store. Okay. From me at the point that I take an order or I give a quote, it's all documented. And that's saved in a file. And then once the order is placed, it goes to a jobs order form. And then you can see the order progress as it goes down to different departments. I'm pretty much a one-woman show. I have my husband that prints, my nephew prints, and my son prints. So I'm lucky enough to have 3 different people who can come in and print for me. The majority of the time, my husband is doing the printing. I only print for videos now, okay? But I do print, but from running a day-to-day operation, you've got to be able to keep paperwork and keep everything organized. When we make our purchases, all of that stuff goes into the software, our expenses, and anything that we output in any type, and it keeps track of sales. And so that's how we keep track of how much money we're making and things like that. You can go to Tonna.com and look that up. It's also the shop manager is here on the YouTube channel. So you can go and look that up. You also, you know, there's other programs out there, QuickBooks, things like that. But I have another thing that helps me a lot with me doing so many different things, because I've got about 5 different websites. Okay. So another thing that helps me a lot is I'm a Microsoft Office user. So I use 365. 365 keeps everything in the cloud for me. So no matter where I am, at any time, I can access any files that I need. I have a laptop and an iPad. I use a Splash Top app. So if I'm out and about and I'm doing something, I can go into that app and log into any of my computers and design from there. That helps to keep me organized. I use Outlook Mail. Outlook Mail gives me notifications and access to calendars and things like that. You can put apps there where you can have different things, so you can I keep up to date with everything going on that way. Let's see here. What did I do to start my shop up? I actually fell into screen printing. Okay. I had a store in a bazaar type atmosphere, and I had a retail store, and my son came to me and told me that he wanted to do pictures on t-shirts. And so I started out doing heat press work, and then I started thinking about times from when I was in college and the history of t-shirts, and I just ended up using a t-shirt as my canvas. But the first thing I did was I got a heat press, and I started doing heat press work, and it was mainly for my son. And then I started doing different events and things like that. Since I already had a store, it was a little bit easier for me because I was in a very, very public place. I wanted to do it a little bit faster. So I started looking into screen printing. I ended up getting a vinyl cutter first, and I started doing vinyl. Still needed something faster. I was in a Korean bazaar. And when I tell you that those Koreans, they have the capabilities of doing everything because they're close-knit people, and I would put up a design, and the lady next to my store, she would steal my designs, and where I could do only 25 shirts, she would have 100 of my designs. And so I end up moving out of there and getting a freestanding store. But when I first got started, I had to do flyers. I would go to laundromats. I would go to school, to football games and different events like that. And I would walk around and I would pass out stuff. I'd print up t-shirts with designs on it. And I would always have stuff like that with me when I first got started. And then I ended up, now I'm actually back in a house working, and I love it. Working out of a house. It's bought a house and converted it into a whole shop, and got away from the retail thing. Now I'm doing pretty much online. But if you do, I guarantee you, if you do get a website and you optimize that website right and get it listed right, put your time into doing that, you will make your money. If you Google t-shirt printing in Dallas, I'm the first person to come up. I don't care how you put it. If you say screen printing t-shirts, t-shirt printing, things like that, I'm your girl. So I get a lot of money that way. Blue Tees asks, how much are my classes? So my classes, the private classes are $500. Okay. Private classes, for me to come to your location, it's $500 a day for within 200 miles, I believe. If it's more than 200 miles that I have to travel, it's $750 a day plus expenses. But if it works for people who are in the business, who have more than one person that they want to train. And I come in, when I do private classes, I come in and I don't just teach you how to screen print or teach you how to do Corel Draw. I come in and I actually come in, organize your shop, show you where your equipment needs to be set up. I deal with a lot of garage printers who don't know how to optimize their workspace. So I do shop setup and things like that, and kind of go around and show you, look at your technique, see where you are, and show you what you need to be doing. And if for people who are just getting into the business, then we really work on print technique and getting all of that down packed. And then I talk to them about, marketing and things like that. And then you have access to me, pretty much anytime. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I also offer the online Corel Draw classes, and I may or may not offer screen printing classes at my location. I haven't put up any for this year, and that's because I've got an automatic press back there, and I've got 2 manuals, and I'm running out of room. I don't have the room to have a lot of people in my shop at one time anymore like I used to. So pretty much I'm just going to people. If it's somebody that's here in Dallas, you know, you can call me up and you could get a little bit better deal than that. Okay, where can I get the t-shirt calculator? Hey, GT, you can get the t-shirt calculator on latonna.com. I will put up the shopping cart tonight. The t-shirt calculator is great, and it will make you money, and it will help you do quotes really, really fast. Something that was a gift that my little sister gave me. She gave me that idea to do that, and it's really good. Okay, how do you handle your inks? Do you do CMYK or just have a ton of inks? Oh, Steve, that's a good question. So I have different inks for different things. When you're first getting started, buy inks. If you have a local screen printer and you're able to buy inks just for what you want or for that job, then do that. What I do is I buy gallons of white ink. You want to stock white ink, black ink, you want to stock red, and you want to stock blue. Okay, so you're going to stock all of your primary colors. You're going to stock your primary colors and yellow. So once you stock your primary colors, then from those colors, you get a color wheel. And you should be able to make any color from those colors. You can also buy kits, and most of the screen printing distributors, they have on their website, or the ink companies, they have mixing codes that'll help you mix those inks to give you the different color, the different array of colors that you need. You have in screen printing inks, you have inks that are specifically for printing on light color shirts, and then you have inks that are for printing opaque inks, which are like dark color shirts. Okay, a lot of people will buy the inks for the light color t-shirts. They're thinner inks, they're easier to print to some people, well, to just about everybody. They're easier to print, but this is the thing. Let's say if I got a Union Ultra Soft red, and I want to print that red on a black shirt, my ink is going to seep into the shirt, and I'm going to have to do an underbase. The way that I get around that is I buy opaque inks to start out with, and then I'll just flash print that black shirt, and that way I don't have to use that white underbase. As far as the CMYK inks go, you know, it's just 4 of those. And then you've got, when you're doing your printing on dark shirts, it's called not sublimation, simulated process. When you're doing simulated process, you'll use those opaque inks that I'm telling you about. A quart of ink is about 15 bucks. Okay. Off of a shirt, you've probably got about 10 cents of ink into a full-size design. So you can do a lot of, I'm going to say at least 300-400 shirts with 1 quart of ink that you pay $15 for. So ink in this game, ink is pretty much a non-factor until you get into doing glitter inks and things like that. Glow in the dark. Now, glow in the dark is really expensive. I paid about 300 bucks for a bucket of glow in the dark ink. It's a gallon. I've still got it back there. But standard inks are not, you know, expensive. They're really, really cheap. And the thing about Plastisol is that Plastisol, you can keep it just about forever. And when I say forever, it does not cure unless it hits 320 degrees. So you can do a job, you can have those inks back there. A lot of times you see videos, you'll see inks with containers open, so you'll always be able to keep with your inks. But just do your primary colors, and then, you know, start practicing mixing colors. And unless you have a customer that, like Coca-Cola or somebody that needs a PMS color, you'll be okay. Thank you, Blue Tees. Okay, does anybody else have any more questions? So what do you guys want to accomplish in 2017? Where do you want to take your businesses to? What are you doing? What is the one thing that you can do to promote yourself? And when I'm telling you guys to promote yourself, yourselves, let me tell y'all something. If you are in the printing business and you have a tax ID number, a lot of people will say, yeah, Miss T, you'll tell us to promote ourselves, but I don't have money to get business cards and to get banners and to get all of this stuff that you've got, right? If you're in the printing business, you need to be selling everything. Now I'm going to give you guys a tip and some game that nobody's going to give you. I don't know if you guys have heard of Got Print and Vista Ink and all Vista Print and all of that stuff. Got Print has a program which is for other printers, and it is called, what is the website? I'll look it up and I'll put it in the comments section in this broadcast, or if you guys inbox me or something like that, I'll let you know. Printograph, that's it. It's called Printograph. You can get a broker's account with Printograph, okay? And if you're selling business cards, you can offer business cards and postcards as another way of marketing yourself and getting out there. All you have to do is 5 orders a month. I got these business cards. I think I order about 1,000 business cards at one time. I probably pay about $17 for them, okay? $17. Same thing with postcards. So what you do is you go and you open an account with these companies and start selling postcards, business cards, banners. The only thing you have to do is upload your design and upcharge your customers, okay? That's it. Now I'm not going to be able to leave this video on YouTube. I'm going to have to make it unlisted. But that's one thing that you can do, and you can add extra income to that. So anything that you don't do, you have to think of the printing business as advertising and promoting and marketing. So anything that you do not do, you should be a broker with another company where you can do that. Okay, what kind of software do I use? Simple Steps 3, things like that. I don't use Simple Steps. Me and Tom McKnight, we're not too cool. Okay. Okay. Simple Steps is a plug-in for CorelDRAW, and it does things that a beginning user or an average user cannot do unless they've been properly trained to do it. Things like grouping colors together and doing chokes and yokes. Chokes and yokes, those are when you do a little overprint. If you're going to have 2 colors, instead of doing butt printing together, you'll have one color of the darker color overlap the lighter color. You can do all of that stuff yourself if you watch my videos. Simple Steps itself is okay. Just the Simple Steps roster, which is supposed to separate the colors, it freezes. I'm not a fan of Simple Steps because it does everything one way and it changes the colors in your artwork. So Simple Steps is not anything that I recommend. There's a guy, Um, if you're using, are you using CorelDRAW or Illustrator or Photoshop? Really, you can do all of that stuff yourself without Simple Steps. I had a lot of problems with Simple Steps crashing the computer and things like that, and not being able to get support. Got a lot of people in my group and in other groups who say that Simple Steps is the shit, okay? And they like it. For me, it was a headache. And maybe that's because I do everything from scratch, but you can do everything yourself. You don't need Simple Steps. You can purchase it. If you don't like it, then ask for a refund. Let's see. But I would recommend. I think it's T-Biz. He has a separation. What is it? A simple. Not Simple Steps. I can't think of it right now. If I was going to use it, I would use Scott Freshner. Google his name, Scott Freshner. I think he is T-Biz Business Network. Okay. He has a SEPs program that is pretty good if you want to do it, but you can do SEPs manually. And if you go in and you look at my videos, you'll see how fast and how easy it is to do it. Look at the one with the dog and you'll see that. Okay, Ivan, you need a tax ID because I have to have schools to get their business. Okay, so on a tax ID, you get a tax ID number very easy. What you do is you go down to your state comptroller's office. Actually, if you're in Texas, you can Google state comptroller's office and file for a tax ID online. Your tax ID is for the state to keep up with you and to know how much money how much taxes you're selling your customers. So let's say if I go and I buy a t-shirt wholesale for $1 or $2 and I upcharge that t-shirt, once I put print on it, it's called manufactured goods. I've just made it into another product. So if I sell that t-shirt for $15, in the state of Texas, you've got to do 8.25% on that $15. And every 3 months, quarterly, so it's 4 times a year, you have to file taxes. Now, if you're dealing with the school system, most school systems, they have vendor programs and you can get on a vendor's list. That's another thing that you guys can do. You can get on a vendor's list, and when you get on that vendor's list, you call to the school district and tell them you want to be a vendor for t-shirts, and you'll be able to do bidding and things like that on jobs and stuff. Another thing that you may need is a EIN number. You want to build business credit. Okay. Now here's another tip. So if you want to build business credit, there's a company called Duns & Bradstreet. You're going to need a Duns & Bradstreet number. Okay. So the first thing that you do is you either become a vendor for a local school or something to do like the city of Dallas. The city of Dallas, they have a vendors program where they hire people to bid on jobs. Okay. You can go in and you sign up with them. So once you get listed with a school or a city, a Dun & Bradstreet number will normally cost you maybe $600-700. However, that fee is waived. Listen to me. It's waived when you are doing business with a city, a school, a federal government, or the state. Okay. So what you do is you call them and they'll ask you if you're doing business with the city, school, or state, and you say yes. And you'll get your EIN number. You'll get your Duns & Bradstreet number absolutely free. Once you get that number, then you start purchasing, opening up wholesale accounts and things like that in that name. As you build and you purchase, let's say I've got a wholesale account with Staten, okay? In the beginning, I had to pay like everyone else. I had to pay up front. After you get so many sales and t-shirts, they'll give you apply for a net 30, then a net 60, net 90. So nothing's coming out of your pocket. So that's how you end up doing that type of stuff. T-SEP. Yep, that's it. That's the one I like, Ivan, T-SEPs. But T-SEPs is not for Corel, Stephen. It's for Adobe. So have you ever heard of Inkscape? Yes, I've heard of Inkscape. Inkscape is a GPU software. GPU software is general public use, which means it's free. And you can go to inkscape.com and download it. What it is it's a vector-based program. You also have GIMP. GIMP is like would be kind of like Photo Paint or Adobe Photoshop, okay? Whereas Inkscape would be comparable to a Baby Corel or Illustrator. But Inkscape will do vector art, and it's a way for you to do it for free. I actually think that I'm not sure if I did a video on Inkscape or not yet, but I have a video on Inkscape with a review of it. Inkscape is not as robust as Corel, but it gets the job done, okay? So if you don't want to go and spend, $500 on software, that'd be a great way to do it, is to use Inkscape. Okay, Jason asks, what is a net 30, net 60, etc.? Okay, Jason, so a net 30 means that it's like a credit account where you have 30 days to pay that invoice. So if the company may start you off with, let's say if they start you off with only $500. Cool. You open up 3 different accounts with $500. You got $1,500 of credit out there. So a net 30 is I can call the t-shirt company, place an order. I've got 30 days to pay that order off for those blank shirts. What that does is that helps when you're getting started and you've got customers who want to get shirts, right? By the way, I charge my customers up front 100%. Okay. Sometimes if I'm nice, then I'll do a 60% deposit, but I can't eat t-shirts. A lot of people think that because it's a service business that you don't pay up front, but this is a custom business. And in custom apparel, you cannot eat t-shirts and you can't lose money. So you've got to, you have that stated. It's stated on my wall. It's, it's all over the place in here. And it's also stated on my invoice. And I know a lot of people have an issue with asking people for money. But what I do is when I get through and I do up an invoice and I hand it to a customer, I say, okay, here you go. And how would you like to pay for that today? I've never had anyone say anything. They're surprised sometimes, but they'll go ahead and whip out that credit card and give me that money. Okay. So that's what you need to do. How do you deal with late payments from clients, with late payments from clients that you want to keep? I don't want to keep a late paying client. I don't let people pay me. I don't let them pay me late because I request my money up front. It's like this. Most large organizations, larger businesses, they have a fund, and in that fund, they have money. So they already know what the budget is for the project. and they don't have a problem paying up front if you let them know that that is your policy. Okay. The only people that you will not get paid up front, will not be able to get paid up front for, is some of the school accounts. The school accounts, they will pay you, and they're slow pay. There's nothing you can do about that, but ask for your money up front. Have that on your forms that payment is due at the time the order is placed. I don't even do artwork unless I've already got a payment. I'll have people who'll come in, they'll show me what they want, and all that's good. But I'm always busy. And even if I'm not busy, I play like I'm busy, because I don't have time to do, to touch a computer for anyone. That's what they told me when I graduated college. They told me I was worth so much, and I've just always stuck by it, even at times that I need it. But if you've got a repeat customers, you could keep their information on file. Let them fill out a form there in your shop, a release for the credit card information, where you can keep that information on file. But you need to be able to get paid. So your clients are schools and nonprofit organizations. That is the thing. With schools and nonprofit organizations, there's nothing that you can do with slow pay. With us here in Dallas, we have to put in a requisition for payment, and I always stress that I need that payment. Normally, it's probably 30, even 60 days out on payments. That's why I stopped dealing with schools, because I just don't, but you're in a pickle, and you're just going to have to kind of stick with it. Churches, I know a lot of churches that will give you hot checks and all kinds of stuff. So, with churches and things like that, I always make sure that I get my money up front. And that's just me. Not all churches, but some of these churches down here in Texas, that's how they do it. Okay. What vinyl software do you use? Okay. Vinyl cutting software. Okay, so right now I still use my Eyeline, and I can use my Eyeline through CorelDRAW. Most vinyl cutters accept what's called PLT files, so you'll be able to use those to create vector designs and go back and forth between Corel or whatever vector program that you're using. Let me see. Blue Tees, are you using Inkscape? Let's see here. Who's using Inkscape? Yeah, you're using Inkscape. What I will do is I will try to hook up Inkscape and see to a cutter and see if you can use it. Vinyl Master. I also use, I also have that small, I have the Eyeline cutter, and I use that Eyeline cutter with Corel. You can buy aftermarket software also, but you should be able to, if you're able to save. What type of cutter are you using? That's what I want to know, is what type of cutter are you using? And that'll give me some insight as to what type of file that you need to save your vector, how you can import your vector file from Inkscape to your cutter, because I'm almost positive that there's a way, and I'm pretty sure that if we work together, we can find a way to get that done for you. So let me know. I don't know, Blue Tees, I don't know if you're part of my Facebook group or not, but you can hit me here and let me know. Let me know what type of cutter that you're using. I'm gonna tell you guys what I did is I was training a lot of people who were using that Silhouette. Silhouette is slow, but it cuts damn good. It really does. So I use Silhouette for a lot of smaller things and stuff like that. And Silhouette has its own, cutting software that comes with it. So, but I'm sure that we can find a solution for you, Blue Tees. Okay, Jason. So on screens, for repeat customers, I do keep them. If I've got customers, if you purchase from me and I know that you're going to be a repeat customer, I will hold screens. And but I only hold screens for people who are buying, like, let's say something every month, okay? And you can't hold a lot of screens. Um, I do plastisol transfers where I'll do a screen in reverse and then print their design on it if they're just getting, if they're small orders. But if it's big orders, then I will keep the screen. The majority of the time, though, it's just the film. We'll keep the film. If you come in and you order within 3 months, we'll just reshoot that screen for free. But if you order if you don't, or would charge you 15, not 15 bucks, 10 bucks, I believe, to reshoot it after that, as long as we still have those files. I keep all of my films. And I know a lot of people will throw their films away after they use them. Even if a customer is not coming back, I keep those films and I gang them all together. And I have a paper, the little paper cutter, the hole puncher, and I just make a big book out of those films, and I use those to show to different clients. I have it sitting around my shop, and clients will come in and they can choose designs from that. So it's a good way of using that. Okay, so you have a GCC Expert 24. Okay, do you have a PLT file? Blue T's a plotter file export option there. What type of files? You need to find out what type of files that Cutter takes, and I'll look it up and do some research on it and see what I can find for you. US Cutter, is US Cutter a good machine? No. I have had about 3 or 4 clients in the last year who, ladies that I've trained, who've bought US Cutters. They're not good at all. They're very easy to break. The around where the needle is breaks, gets off track, things like that. I wouldn't recommend a US Cutter at all for anything. But if you already have one, then use it. I would go, if you don't and you're looking in that price range, I would check signwarehouse.com, see what they have. I would also, I do a lot of Craigslist. Okay, I do a lot of Craigslist and a lot of OfferUp. So a lot of times I'm on those sites and I find stuff that's top of the line stuff, and I get it a lot cheaper. Let's see here. I hope I've answered everyone's questions. Video doesn't look too bad on YouTube, but from my computer screen, it's jumping. So I'm going to figure out a way to get my desktop on onto live so that I can show you guys how to do some things. Okay, my favorite emulsion, Jason. That's a good one. With emulsions, it depends on your exposure unit. What type of exposure unit you have, what's the humidity in your area. My favorite emulsion is called Chromoline. Okay, it's the Chromoline Blue. Chromoline Blue has about 50% solids. Okay, emulsion has a lot of water in it. So most emulsions, and that's, it'll dry up and everything. But what the solids do in that emulsion is it keeps you from having a lot of pinholes because it's a little bit thicker emulsion. It builds a thicker ink well for me, and it burns really good on the homemade unit, and it also burns very well on my industrial unit. So it's kind of a one for all emulsion. It has a wide range of exposure time. You can do big block letters, and I can also get very fine detail with it. And what I do is if I'm going to do something like halftone something, it's all in my coating method. I may coat one side versus coating, front and back, like that. So I'll do a thinner inkwell, but it's all in that. Okay, so you're using a Vastex Exposit black light. Okay, so those black light systems are pretty good. How long does it take you right now to expose? And what are you using now, Jason, to expose your screen emulsion? What type of emulsion are you using now? The Ulano emulsions are good also. Just depends. But when you're looking at emulsions, I would go to the company's websites and look up the different types of emulsions. Don't depend on these distributors to tell you what it is that you need to be using. Go to the actual manufacturer's websites and look up their emulsions. Same thing with inks, and look up the uses and everything like that. And then you'll know what you should be using for the job. But a good one that I use is the Chromoline. I've also used the Ulano Red. Didn't like it too much. It was more for automatic printing. Even on my automatic press, I use the oh, you're using the Textile PV. Textile PV is a good emulsion. It's a really good emulsion. But you're doing 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes ain't bad, but you want to get it down a little bit. 3.5 minutes isn't bad if you're not burning a lot of different stuff, and you know, 3.5 minutes really isn't bad. Most things that I do that I burn on my unit is probably anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds, but it just depends. But I'll have to look up that Vastex unit, but I know Vastex is okay. Yeah, but the Textile PV, I've used it before, and Textile PV is okay. Are you experiencing pinholes with it? Looking for, okay, Ivan says, looking for a cutter because you got a lot of calls for names on the shirts and you don't want to do a screen for each one. Okay. Okay, Jason, I'm going to get right back to you. Let me answer this question really quick. So you're looking for a cutter because you want to do names, and you don't want to have to do a screen for each name. That's a perfect reason for you to have a cutter. Is for doing names, and if that's basically all that you're going to be doing, you know, you could just get a little desktop cutter and just be done with it. If that's all you're going to be doing is doing the names. So Jason, you're coding 2 times on one side and 2 times on the other side. That's why your time is 3.5 minutes. When you're coding 2 and 2, if you're using that thicker side of the scoop coater, you're building a really thick ink well. So you're building a thicker layer of emulsion, which is really good if you're printing like white ink and things like that. But you could ideally do a 1 and 1 and you'll be fine. I can understand you doing a 2 and 2. If you're doing a 2 and 2 and you're coating with the thin side, then maybe I could understand. But I would try to bump it down to a 1 and 1 and see what happens if I get a faster time. What I'll do for you, Jason, is I will look into the best exposure, the best emulsion for your unit, and I'll let you know what I come up with. So you're printing on the sharp side of the coater, but round for white. Okay. Yeah, you should be able to do a 1 and 1 and you'll be okay. You should be able to knock off at least a minute of that time doing a 1 and 1. What you can do is who's your distributor? What company do you use for to get your emulsion from? Let's see, Textile PV, who sells that? Is it GSG? Because what you could do is, a lot of times what I do is I get a lot of free stuff. I go into my distributor and I tell them, hey, you know, I want to try a different emulsion. Those guys have, they have samples. Sometimes they'll give you a whole gallon just to keep your business. You know, they get them from the distributors. They'll send them over, the manufacturer, they'll send them over there to you. So you should, you know, try that out. No, Stephen, I had to come to the shop and do this live cast. So once I get back, I'll go in and I will, I'll go back into the Tonna.com and set the shopping cart. One of the reasons that I didn't open the shopping cart last night is that I'm moving. I've had been with Yahoo for probably about 15 years. And they're having so much issues that I've moved all of my websites, and I'm now waiting on my domains to be released to GoDaddy, because I'm cutting down on spending extra money on stuff and with Yahoo with them and this security issue. So I have to, my t-shirt quoter site is the site that I download all of my software. All of my software is on. So I've just got to go over and move those files, but I'll do that once I get done with this. Whatever's on sale, Jason. So you just buy whatever type of emulsion is on sale, and you don't, but you're making sure that you when you buy that emulsion, that it's for the type of printing that you're doing, right? I hope so. Well, guys, I think that's about all the questions for today. I will be live broadcasting, you know, here pretty soon. The next live cast that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, I want to do a video with a live cast of working with a tiger online and doing color separations. And I'm going to put up the link to the tiger so that people can download it, and then they can go in and do that. And it's probably going to be about 3-4 parts video. Don't know how it's going to work, but that's what I'm going to try to do. You guys, if there's something that, a video that you want me to do, let me know. And if there's, you know, like a review or something like that that you'd like me to do, just let me know. Okay. Your suggestions is how I learn, and I want to help you help me. Okay. And Happy New Year's. Oh, but drop my drink. All righty, y'all. Thank you, everyone, for watching.